I'd like to do a little bit of information around the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is part of the circulatory system. Of course, the circulatory system includes the heart, arterial blood, and venous return. At the capillary levels, of course, the arterial blood brings in food to the food and nutrition and supplements and everything to the cells. The cells take in what they need, and then most of this fluid is returned to the heart via the venous return. However, at the cellular level, the cells do excrete a fluid and toxins and other proteins out of the cells, and that particular fluid is picked up by the lymphatic tubules and vessels and carried back to the heart and is introduced into the venous return close to the heart and along the way. However, though, that lymphatic tubules and fluid does not get help from the heart's pump. So it is important that we are either moving physically or we are moving the lymphatic system ourselves. At the cellular level, it is important. It's absolutely seriously important that we are hydrating our bodies and drinking at least half of our body weight in ounces of water, because the fluid that's coming out of the cells and being picked up by the lymphatic tubules is very sticky. Plus, the tubules that are in that particular area of the body are very, very small, and the fluid is very sticky. So if we're dehydrated in any capacity, it is near impossible to get that fluid moving. Those particular tubules at that particular place, at that level of the cellular level, is actually smaller than hairs. So once again, if the fluid around the cells, which is sticky, if you are dehydrated, it makes it even near impossible to move that lymphatic fluid or that fluid into the lymphatic tubules. In those lymphatic tubules is where we find our lymphatic nodes. In the nodes is where we fight infection. So the lymphatic system is actually your immune system. So if this lymphatic system is moving slow, then your immune system is very, very compromised. The tubules are a one-way directional flow. They have little mini valves in it that keep it from backflowing. So once we empty the fluid in the area closest to the heart, emptying fluid into the venous return closest to the heart, the tubules below, distal to that, have to open up and add more fluid in there. So the more we empty closest to the heart, the fluid in the lymphatic system closest to the heart, the more fluid that will come from distal, the tissue from below. Another issue around the lymphatic system is, as we go down here, we have a picture of the breast anatomy. We know that the breast is generally fatty, even if your breast is dense, has dense breast tissue. The tissue is fatty. Toxins love fat. So any of the toxins that we're getting exposed to will deposit in the fatty tissue around our body and especially in our breast tissue. Unfortunately, there is no muscle in the breast tissue. So nothing is actually squeezing that breast tissue throughout the day. The reason why our legs don't get inflamed or generally don't get swollen at the feet is because our muscles are contracting and squeezing the lymphatic tubules, pushing the fluid up through the one-way valves and towards the heart. So as our muscles contract in our arms and our legs and throughout our body, it's squeezing the fluid up the lymphatic tubules towards the heart to mix in with the blood. Then it goes through, mixes with the blood, goes through the systems, gets reoxygenated. The toxins are eliminated through the organs in the body. And then the blood comes back to the cells and the process starts again. It is very, very important, again, that the hydration of the body is very, very important. We must be drinking at least half of our body weight in ounces of water so that this fluid can be fluidic, so that these lymphatic tubules can pick it up. Otherwise, that whole system is very, very sluggish and slow. Once again, the lymphatic system is your immune system. So if your lymphatic system is compromised due to hydration, your whole immune system is dehydrated. Okay, we want to move over to, once again, to the breast anatomy picture. If you notice, we have a blue vein, and along the vein are lymphatic tubules and nodes that are coming from the breast tissue. 75% of the lymph in the body is on the surface. There's another 25% throughout the tissue. And if you look at these tubules, these are actually they're very small, but however, these are some of the very large lymphatic tubules that are migrating towards the heart and dumping into the venous return. Once again, very, very important that our hydration, that we are hydrated, drinking at least half of our body weight in ounces of water so that the lymphatic system is moving and these tubules can actually pick up the fluid around the tissue. What we want to be careful about is that we are able to move this breast tissue by manipulating it, picking it up, squeezing it, checking it, letting it move so that we can break those toxins up and get the tissue cleaned out. What I want to show you next is what I call my MLD 1, 2, 3, manual lymphatic drainage 1, 2, 3. I have a form that is associated with this video that you can print and read. What we want to do is to empty the area closest to the heart, which would be above the clavicle there. We want to empty the lymphatic tubules above the clavicle first. That would be my MLD 1. 2 would be the area between the underarm up to the clavicle. That would be the deltoid pectoral area. And then under the arm or the axilla, that would be number MLD 3. So if we clean MLD 1, which is above the clavicle towards the heart, the tubules distal to that will provide more fluid into them. They will open up and pick up more fluid, and then more fluid will come from the breast tissue over to the axilla, along the deltoid pectoral area, and then empty into the heart. So we want to do an MLD 1, 2, 3 anytime we can think about it, and then pick up that breast tissue and manipulate it with our breast massage and our breast exam, moving that tissue, rinsing it out so that we can keep the tissue healthy and toxin free and break up any congested areas that might be a problem.